new characters are introduced, some new, you can say, there is this introduction of a new character, which we term as variation. Now, this variation will make the progeny differ from its parents. Now, when we talk about this whole entire process of inheritance and variation, obviously, it will be the DNA that is carrying it. Now, DNA, in that also, there is a functional unit of DNA, which we call as the genes. And we say that, okay, it's the genes because of which the inheritance happens. Now, when we talk about the genes, we must know two things, that is genotype and phenotype. Now, all of you, I think everyone remembers that genotype is the genetic makeup of the organism, whereas phenotype is what the genotype represents, meaning phenotype is the externally observable features. So, for example, if we are taking the height of the plant into consideration, now whether the height of the plant is tall or dwarf, so this is the phenotype. And the genes which represent the tall and dwarf, that is capital T for tall, small t for dwarf, that is the genotype. Clear, students?
Yeah.
All right. Now, moving forward, when we say genetics, we must know the person who is the pioneer of it, the father of genetics, that is Gregor Johann Mendel. Mendel is the one because of whom we know all of these things. Now, he gave the law of inheritance. He told us about inheritance by performing the hybridization experiment on the pea plant, that is Pisum sativum. Why did he choose the pea plant? It's because the pea plant has 7 pairs of contrasting characters. The pea plant does self-pollination. It has a large number of offsprings, and like a normal life cycle or a lifespan is shorter than others. And the reproductive cycle gets completed easily. Now, when we talk about the genes, every single gene has 2 alleles associated with them. Alleles, they are the pair of contrasting characters, meaning like capital T and small t, these are alleles of each other. They are exact opposites, but they are of the height. So that is what we call as the allele. Now, in terms of the genotype, it can be dominant, it can be recessive. Under that, it can be homozygous dominant and homozygous recessive. Now, homozygous, homo means same. So, when capital B are present together, small b are present together, we say this is a homozygous condition. 2 of the same alleles present together. So, homozygous dominant and homozygous recessive. Then there is another condition, which is the heterozygous condition, in which there will be one dominant and one recessive allele present together, and under that also the dominant one will be expressing itself and not the recessive one. Now, when we talk about the laws of inheritance by Mendel, so Mendel gave the law of dominance, law of independent assortment, and also the law of segregation. So when we talk about the law of dominance, so according to this particular law, the dominant traits, they are inherited by the offspring, whereas the traits that get suppressed, they also get inheritance, but they do not get expressed. So we call those traits as the recessive traits. Then there is the law of segregation. So according to this law, during the production of gametes, meaning when the gametes are being produced, 2 copies of each gene will segregate, meaning that every gamete will have one set of chromosomes and one set of genes, and during the reproduction, when those 2 gametes will fuse, then 2 sets will be produced. And the third law is the law of independent assortment. So according to this law, in the dihybrid cross, since we take 2 characters into consideration, so both of those characters get inherited separately and there is no blending. Now, Mendel performed the hybridization experiment and he gave the monohybrid cross, the dihybrid cross. Now, the monohybrid cross is the one wherein we study one character and its transmission, whereas dihybrid cross, we study 2 characters and their transmission. So the phenotypic ratio, now at the end of the crossing procedure, we find out the ratio. So for the monohybrid cross, the ratio comes out to be 3:1. And for the dihybrid cross, the ratio comes out to be 9:3:3:1. Any doubts up until now, students?
No.
Also, students, are you people studying for your exams?
Yeah.
What about the rest of you?
Yes.
Studying nicely?
Yes.
Or you're like, oh, ma'am, we have done it so many times, now we are bored. Is it?
This chapter is well done because you asked questions from this, right?
Yeah, we have done the revision also. And this is revision. And we'll do it until the exam. So, buckle up. So, this is the
Ma'am,
introductory part. Yes?
can you like show the Punnett square? Like how to use the Punnett square for dihybrid cross?
Definitely, I'll show you. So now coming on to the crosses that we talked about. But before that, let us look at the dominant traits and recessive traits. So the traits that will express themselves, we'll call that as the dominant one. And the one that will not express, that will become the recessive traits. But tell me the condition in which the recessive traits express themselves, students.
When the dominant gene allele is not present.
Yeah, that condition is called as homozygous recessive condition. Now, when we talk about the monohybrid cross, so when only one character is considered, like for example, the height of the plant or the color of the flower, only one character, so that is called as monohybrid cross. So in that, you take the two characters like homozygous dominant, cross it with the homozygous recessive. And in the F1 generation, you'll find out that all of the offsprings would have the same genotype, meaning all of them will be tall. So in the first generation, the dominant trait is getting expressed. Now to find out the F2 generation, we do the process of selfing. So we take two gametes or the two offsprings from the F1 generation and we cross them together and we have capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, capital T, small t, and then small t, small t. So three of them are tall and one of them is short. So we call them as the 3:1 ratio, and this is the phenotypes ratio. But in terms of genotype, it will come out to be 1:2:1. One of them is homozygous dominant, one is homozygous recessive, and two of them are heterozygous tall. So this is the genotypic ratio. Then when we move on to the dihybrid cross, so this is when two pairs of contrasting characters are studied. We study two characters. So for example, seed color and shape. So the dominant one here would be yellow seed color and round seed shape. The recessive one would be the green seed color and the wrinkled seed shape. This is like, these are the characters. Now when we cross them together, if you see over here, so you take capital R, capital Y, cross it with small r, small y. So now the gametes from this would be capital R, capital Y and small r, small y. Now for the F1 generation, when you cross them together, you'll have capital R, capital Y and small y. Now comes the real fun part, which is the F2 generation. So to find out the F2 generation, firstly, you have to find out the gametes. And for that, you cross the capital R with the capital Y. This is the gamete number 1. Then capital R small y, gamete number 2. Small r capital Y, gamete number 3. And small r small y, gamete number 4. So these are the sets of gametes that you have received. Now to find out the F2 generation, you plot a Punnett square in which you make the male and the female gametes column. So here you've written the 4 gametes and you have to multiply these 4 gametes with the same exact gametes of the female. Okay, so now how would you do it? You'll do it like this. So you'll have capital R, capital Y, capital Y. Then this with this, so you'll have capital R, capital R. Always write the dominant one before and then the recessive one. Then you cross it with this. So you'll have capital R, small r, capital Y, capital Y, capital. And lastly, with this, you have capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. This is the first set. Then you do the same exact thing for the second one, meaning you take this one, cross it with this. So you'll have again capital R, capital R, capital R, small y. Then again this one with this one. So capital R, small y, small y. Then capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Capital R, small r, small y, small y. Do you get it? Are you getting this, students? You
Yeah.
have to do it in this manner.
Yes.
Meaning once with this, then the same with this, and then with this. Now, for this also, you have to do the same exact thing. And this is your Punnett square, and this is how you obtain it. Okay. Now, when you find out, like this is round and yellow. This is round and yellow, right? All of them, like you have to find out the phenotypes. Am I audible, students?
Yeah.
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 Okay,
Yeah.
so you have to find out the phenotypes, and ultimately when you count them all, you will receive 9:3 is to 3 is to 1, and this is the phenotypic ratio of a dihybrid cross. Is it clear, students?
Yeah.
Yes.
The Punnett square is clear to you all?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
very good. Now, after that, we have the last topic of this chapter, that is the sex determination. Now, sex determination, it is the process in which the sex of the offspring is determined depending upon the chromosomal pattern, right? Which chromosome, or like the gamete carried which kind of chromosome. So, in the case of humans, the male is heterogametic, meaning it has a Y chromosome and an X chromosome. And in the case of female humans, they are homogametic. Heterogametic means two different kinds of gamete possibilities are there, and homo means same. So in the males, there is XY. So when there is an XY chromosome set, meaning X from either of the parent and Y from the male, so that is the male. The X from the female and Y from the male, then that offspring is a male. Whereas two X's are female. Now, these are the sets of parents. Now, in the gametes, the male can either donate the X chromosome or the Y. The female can donate in both the condition X chromosome only. So, when the X of the male fuses with the X of the female, we have XX, that is a female child. Then again, the X of the male fusing with the X of the female, XX, that is a female child yet again. Y of the male, when it fuses with the X of the female, then that is XY condition, and that is a male child. And then again XY condition, that is a male child. So, in any reproduction case, right, the chances of having a girl or having a boy as a baby is like 50-50. It's a chance process. Anything can be like given in the gametes. Now, since the male are heterogametic, they are the ones that carry two types of chromosomes. So they are the ones said to be responsible for the sex of the baby, and not the female, because the female is carrying XX, whereas the male carries XY. Clear, students?
Yeah.
So with
Yes.
this particular chapter, I've given you a revision. So any doubts up until now?
No.
No.
I have lost counting of how many times we have done this chapter, to be very honest. So now I was thinking that you people should solve some questions. Just 1 second. All right, now you can take a page and start answering the questions. These are the MCQs from Heredity chapter.
So, ma'am, do you have to write down?
No, just write the option, whichever option you think is the correct one. And then once your people are done, we'll discuss.
Can you repeat?
Yes, I was saying that these are the MCQs. Now you people take your like page, whatever notebook you're writing it, and then you just note down whichever option you think is the right one. For example, for one, whichever A, B, C, D, you write A, B, C, D, whatever in your notebook. And once you're done solving all the questions, we'll discuss it together, okay? That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Can you
Yes, all of you are done, students.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Fast, huh? You people are very fast.
I'm done.
Everyone's done?
Yeah.
Mm,
Yes, all of you are done.
No. Done. Can you show the eighth one properly?
done.
Done. Done.
Done.
Okay. So now tell me the answers for the questions. Okay, the first one.
C.
C.
Okay, I hope no one has a doubt in this. All right, the second question.
B.
B.
Two pink colored flowers on crossing resulted in one red, two pink and one white flower progeny. The nature of the cross will be double fertilization, self-pollination, cross-fertilization, no fertilization. What is the answer you people wrote?
B.
C.
C. Very good. Then third question.
A.
Yeah,
What? A.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Which of the following statement is incorrect?
D.
D.
For production of every enzyme, there is a gene. For every molecule of fat, there is a gene. For every protein, there is a gene. For every hormone, there is a gene. Yes, correct. If a round, green seeded
A.
plant, round and yellow, yes, the dominant one will be. Wait a second. Here, green is the. Yeah, correct, correct. Okay, in human males, all the chromosomes are paired perfectly except one. This, the unpaired chromosome is?
Y and X.
Yeah.
C.
Yeah, C.
C.
All right,
Seventh
next.
one B.
Seventh one, the
Yeah, the
maleness of a yeah,
Y chromosome
Yeah.
is
very
zygote.
good, correct. The zygote which has an X chromosome
C.
inherited from the father,
Girl child.
Girl.
correct.
Girl
Girl.
child.
Ninth,
B.
correct.
A.
A.
A, 1 and 2, chromosome number changes in the gamete, there is no, yeah, correct. 11th,
B.
11. B.
1 and 4, round yellow, wrinkled green. Good. Correct, students. So I hope you people have, and the rest of the questions in this chapter are from the evolution part, but since you people have that topic omitted, so we'll not solve these questions. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now tell me if there's any doubts that you people want to clear with me. Any doubts from the chapter?
No.
No doubts?
No.
So we have completed successfully the revision of heredity and evolution. Right. Now see, in this PDF, there is also these questions that are the short answer and the long answer questions. So you people can note down these questions so that you can solve it later on your own, so that you'll have a variety of these questions. Okay. So you can note it down, these questions, and then solve it on your own later on.
We'll just take a screenshot of it.
Yeah, you can take a screenshot as well. Or I'll share this PDF with you all. Don't take a screenshot also.
Okay.
I'll share the PDF with you all so you can solve these are this thing, the short answer questions as well as the long answer questions. So these are the kinds of questions that you people might get uh, in your examinations, like somewhat these kinds of questions. Now, when you are giving your exam, so in the exam, you might have questions that look really tricky or that look very topsy-turvy, but don't mind those because sometimes the questions, they become very lengthy. They make it in such a way that if you look at the question, you'll be scared. But try to read the question and to find what the question is actually asking for. And you would actually end up finding that it was the easiest question of them all. Okay. So, yeah. So, what is the next chapter that you people are supposed to revise? Control and coordination revision has been done. Some other teacher might have taken the revision, right?
No.
It hasn't been done yet.
No.
No.
Okay. All right. So the next revision, I think, will be either how do organisms reproduce or maybe control and coordination. We'll see accordingly, and we'll
We
find.
did how do organs reproduce. You said to like learn the control and coordination lesson and that you will ask questions from it.
Okay. So you people have learned it,
Yeah.
all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Oh, okay, very nice. All right. So tell me, students, what is a stimulus?
A change in the environment.
So is it like a stimulus is always external?
Yeah.
No, the stimulus can be external or it can be internal. Okay, it can be both. Okay, what is an effector?
Effector is like the one that receives information by the motor nerves from the brain and the spinal cord, and then like a response.
It
Okay,
is a
what
part of the body which responds to a stimulus.
hmm. So what would be, both of you are correct. What would be the example of a this effector?
Touching a hot pot.
Glands and muscles.
Yes, muscles and glands. Okay. All right. Now tell me, what is the difference between tropic and nastic movement?
Can you repeat?
What is the
Nas-
difference between tropic and nastic movements?
In nastic movement, the growth is not
Tropic.
related to the touch, while in tropic movement, it is related to the touch, the growth in the plant.
See, it's not just the touch, but any kind of stimulus. It's if it is towards the direction of the stimulus, then that is tropic. And if it is against the direction, then that is nastic. In the like in between the nastic and tropic movements, which one is quicker or faster?
Nastic.
The
Nastic.
nastic.
Yes, nastic movements. Okay. Okay, in geotropism, what is the stimulus?
Gravity.
Gravity. So the stem and the root, which one out of them is positively geotropic?
Root.
Backwards.
Very
The
good. Hmm. Okay, tell me the name of a plant growth inhibitor.
Abscisic
so
acid.
it is an in.
Abscisic acid. Very good. What are phytohormones, students?
Which detects light.
Phytohormones, right?
Yeah, phytohormone.
The chemical substances present in the plant which help in the growth of it.
Yeah, any kind of control and coordination is done by the phytohormones. Phytohormones are the plant hormones. They are the non-nutrient chemicals. Okay, tell me, where is auxin synthesized?
At the tip of shoots.
Yeah.
Very good. And is it a plant growth inhibitor or a promoter?
Promoter.
Okay, which is
Promoter.
a gaseous hormone?
Ethylene.
Very
Ethylene.
good. Ethylene. Okay. What is the function of cytokinin?
Promotes cell division.
Very good. It
Regemination.
promotes cell. No, it promotes cell division. All right. Tell me, what are the components of the central nervous system?
Brain, spinal cord, and nerves.
Very good. Okay. So, what are the which part of the brain is responsible for balance and
Cerebellum.
posture? Very good.
Cerebellum.
Hmm. Which part of the brain is responsible for memory and vision?
Cerebrum.
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 Yes, cerebrum. Very good. Okay. Now tell me, what is the function? Okay, what is the difference between endocrine and exocrine glands?
Exocrine discharge secretions in means of duct, and endocrine are ductless. Their hormones directly into bloodstream.
Okay, what is the secretion of exocrine gland called as?
Hormones.
And
Hormone is the secretion of endocrine. I'm asking for exocrine.
Enzymes.
pancreatic gland.
Enzymes.
No.
Yes, enzymes. Okay. Which type of a gland is pancreas? Is it
It
endocrine or
is a
exocrine?
dual gland.
It is
It's a
Endocrine.
dual
Yeah.
gland. It
Dual.
functions as both exocrine and endocrine.
Very good. The gland which functions like an endo and exocrine both, we call them as the mixed gland. Okay. All right. Okay. What is the function of the growth hormone? Like, okay, what happens in the case of over secretion of growth hormone after puberty?
Giantism.
Gigantism.
No. After puberty means
Adrenaline.
acromegaly.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes, your answer is correct. Acromegaly. And in acromegaly, there is like sort of a deformation in the body. The whole entire body does not grow a lot, but some parts like hands and legs, they grow a lot. And when it is under the puberty age, then
Gigantism.
very good.
Gigantism.
Under secretion of growth hormone causes a disease called as
Dwarfism.
Dwarfism.
very
Dwarfism.
correct. Okay. Which is the hormone secreted by the pancreas?
Insulin.
And
Glycogen.
glucagon, not glycogen, glucagon. Glucagon and
Sorry.
insulin are the two hormones secreted by the pancreas. And okay, now tell me, what are the hormones secreted by the adrenal gland?
Adrenaline.
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 Very good. And what is the function of this hormone?
It's a fight
It's
or
like
flight
fight
hormone.
or flight.
Very good. So, like, what are the physiological effects that it has on our body? The adrenaline hormone.
It boosts
Heartbeat increases
Heartbeat.
and breathing increases.
Hmm.
It raises blood pressure and allows more glucose to go into the blood.
More glucose, more oxygen also is supplied to the muscles during. Okay, very nice. You people, all of you are prepared so well. It makes me so happy. Very good, students. Very nice. All right, now tell me. Can you name some receptors found in human beings?
olfactory,
Photoreceptors,
gustatory,
gustatory receptors, phonoreceptors, tungsten, Tunger receptors.
touch,
Gustatory receptors, right? Gustatory receptors are for which sense?
tongue.
Taste.
Tongue.
Taste. It is present on the tongue, but it is for the sense of taste. Okay. All right. Very good. Now tell me, what are the parts of a neuron?
Cell body,
Dendrites,
axon,
Cell body,
nucleus,
dendrites,
dendrites,
and
soma,
nerve
axon.
ending.
axon, myelin sheath, synaptic nodes, nerve endings.
Okay. What is a neurotransmitter, students?